Jade Cargill just delivered the most ruthless and disrespectful display of dominance on SmackDown by absolutely destroying BFAB in under 2 minutes before humiliating Michin in a post-match attack that has the entire women's division questioning whether anyone can stop the B*TCH from running roughshod over everyone. This wasn't just a wrestling match, this was a public execution followed by a statement of superiority so vicious and degrading that it sparked massive controversy about whether Jade has gone too far in establishing herself as SmackDown's most dominant force. The level of disrespect and brutality she displayed has fans absolutely furious and demanding someone put her in her place. Before I break down every devastating moment of Jade's destruction of BFAB, explain the shocking post-match humiliation of Michin, and reveal why this makes Jade the most hated and most unstoppable woman in WWE right now, you need to understand that what happened on SmackDown wasn't just confident heel work, it was a complete burial of two wrestlers designed to send a message that nobody is on Jade Cargill's level. #the squash match that embarrassed BFAB. The match between Jade Cargill and BFAB was supposed to be competitive television, but what actually happened was a one-sided massacre that made BFAB look like she didn't belong in the same ring. From the opening bell, Jade dominated with a level of ease and dismissiveness that was borderline disrespectful to BFAB's abilities and experience as a performer. BFAB got maybe 3 offensive moves total before Jade completely shut her down with power moves that looked devastating and made it clear this wasn't even close to a fair fight. The match lasted barely over 90 seconds before Jade hit her jaded finisher and pinned BFAB with such casual arrogance that she was looking at the crowd and flexing rather than focusing on her defeated opponent. Commentary tried to sell BFAB's toughness and fighting spirit, but the visual told a completely different story. This was total domination that made BFAB look hopelessly outmatched. The post-pin celebration from Jade was excessive and mocking, with her standing over BFAB's body and posing while talking trash that the cameras picked up, including, "Is this the best SmackDown has for me?" The Michin confrontation that exploded what happened after the match is what has the wrestling world absolutely raging, as Jade's attack and humiliation of Michin crossed lines that many fans feel were completely unnecessary and disrespectful. Michin came down to the ring presumably to check on BFAB and possibly challenge Jade for her behavior, showing solidarity with a fellow competitor who just got destroyed. Jade's response was to immediately attack Michin before she could even get fully in the ring, showing zero respect for someone trying to stand up for principle. The assault on Michin was vicious and prolonged, with Jade using power moves and her signature offense to absolutely dominate someone who came out to defend another wrestler. But the physical attack wasn't even the worst part. What followed was a verbal and physical humiliation that has sparked genuine outrage among fans and wrestlers alike. Jade grabbed a microphone while standing over Michin's fallen body and delivered a promo so disrespectful and dismissive that it created instant heel heat of the highest level. The specific humiliation involved Jade forcing Michin to look at her while she posed and flexed, literally putting her boot on Michin's back like she was a conquered enemy, while telling her she was nothing compared to that B*TCH. The controversial promo that went too far. Jade Cargill's post-destruction promo was so arrogant, so disrespectful, and so dismissive of the entire women's division that it's created massive backlash and debate about whether she's being an effective heel or just burying other talent. This is SmackDown's women's division? This is what I'm supposed to be impressed by? I just destroyed 2 women in less time than it takes to get my hair ready. The disrespect continued. Michin, BFAB, and everyone else in that locker room, you're all just warm-up exercises for me. Not one of you is on my level, and you all know it. Jade specifically called out several women by name, claiming she could beat them all in the same night without breaking a sweat. The disrespect was comprehensive and deliberate. I came to WWE to prove I'm the most dominant woman in wrestling history, and so far, nobody has even come close to making me work. It's embarrassing for all of you. The most controversial part, maybe I should go back to AEW where at least the competition pretended to be able to hang with me. WWE's women are weak. The AEW reference was particularly inflammatory because it positioned WWE's entire women's roster as inferior to her former company, creating real heat beyond just character work. Why this has fans absolutely furious. The wrestling fan community's reaction to Jade Cargill's display has been intensely negative, with many fans expressing genuine anger about how the segment was booked and presented. The burial concern *. Fans are furious that BFAB and Michin, both respected wrestlers with their own fan bases, were made to look completely helpless against Jade in a way that damages their credibility. The disrespect factor *. The excessive celebration and humiliation after already winning feels unnecessarily cruel and makes fans sympathetic to the victims rather than intimidated by Jade. The AEW comment *. Suggesting AEW's competition is better than WWE's roster is the kind of meta-commentary that breaks kayfabe in ways that make fans uncomfortable. The booking pattern *. This continues a pattern of Jade destroying everyone without any real struggle, making fans question when / if anyone will ever be positioned as her equal. The realism issue *. While Jade is physically impressive, completely no-selling other wrestlers' offense and winning this easily strains believability and makes matches boring. The division damage *. Making the entire women's division look weak to build one person doesn't help the division overall, it just makes casual fans think women's wrestling isn't competitive. Hashtag the BFAB situation and Hit Row implications. BFAB being destroyed so thoroughly has implications beyond just this one match, affecting her standing and potentially her faction Hit Row's dynamics. BFAB has been working to establish herself as a legitimate singles competitor beyond just being a Hit Row valet/member. This loss potentially sets back that character development significantly. The speed and one-sidedness of the loss makes it difficult to book BFAB in competitive matches going forward without addressing why she couldn't hang with Jade for even 2 minutes. Hit Row as a faction might feel obligated to defend their member, creating potential mixed tag or multi-person match scenarios, but those matchups favor Jade having allies too. The embarrassment factor could create internal Hit Row storylines about whether BFAB is ready for singles competition or should focus on tag team/faction work. Social media reactions from BFAB's real-life supporters and colleagues suggest the squash loss wasn't well received even among people who understand the business. Hashtag the Michin humiliation and character damage for Michin specifically. Being humiliated after trying to do the right thing by defending BFAB creates complicated character implications that might be difficult to overcome. Michin's tough, rebellious character is built on not backing down and fighting anyone, anywhere. Being dominated so easily potentially undermines that entire persona. The physical humiliation with Jade's boot on her back creates a powerful visual that's difficult to come back from without a decisive revenge moment that re-establishes credibility. Michin's fanbase, while smaller than top stars, is passionate and vocal. They're expressing genuine anger about their favorite being used to get someone else over in such a dismissive way. The question becomes, how does Michin realistically beat or even compete with Jade after being destroyed so thoroughly? The booking has created a credibility gap that requires careful storytelling to fix. Long-term, this could be the start of a redemption arc where Michin trains and comes back stronger, but that requires WWE to actually follow through rather than just moving on to Jade's next victim. Hashtag Jade Cargill's controversial push. The broader context of Jade Cargill's WWE run explains some fan frustration. She's been positioned as completely dominant from day one without the struggles that typically make champions relatable. The undefeated streak *. Jade hasn't suffered a clean loss since joining WWE, which is impressive but also makes every match predictable because fans know she's winning. The lack of vulnerability *. Great champions show vulnerability and struggle before ultimately prevailing. Jade's booking shows neither, making her less compelling as a protagonist or antagonist. The AEW comparison *. Her AEW run was similarly dominant, which worked there but creates fatigue when WWE does the exact same booking pattern. The experience questions *. Jade is still relatively inexperienced compared to some wrestlers she's been positioned above, creating real-world credibility questions that affect storyline believability. The division impact *. When one person is booked this dominantly, it makes the entire division look weak rather than making that one person look strong. Hashtag the potential challengers who could stop Jade. Despite Jade's dominance, there are several women on SmackDown and across WWE who could be positioned as credible threats if WWE chooses to book them properly. Bianca Belair *. The most physically comparable to Jade in terms of strength and athleticism. Their styles are similar enough that a competitive match is believable. Rhea Ripley *. If she moves to SmackDown or they meet at a premium event, Rhea has the size, strength, and credibility to hang with Jade. Naomi *. The experience, athleticism, and speed advantage could be positioned as equalizers against Jade's raw power. Charlotte Flair *. If when she returns, Charlotte's legacy and size make her an immediate credible challenger. Nia Jax *. The size and power comparison creates an interesting dynamic where Jade can't just overpower her opponent. Bayley *. The veteran experience and technical skill could be positioned as beating Jade's raw power through intelligence. Hashtag the storyline directions available. WWE has multiple potential directions for where the Jade Cargill storyline goes from here, some more satisfying than others for fans frustrated with her dominance. The unstoppable force continues *. Jade keeps destroying everyone until a major premium event where someone finally stops her. This is the most predictable but could work with proper build. The coalition forms *. Multiple women team up to take down Jade together, creating faction warfare and showing that while she can beat anyone individually, numbers can stop her. The underdog rises *. Someone Jade has already beaten trains and returns stronger, eventually overcoming her in a feel-good moment. Classic wrestling storytelling. The monster vs monster *. Bringing in someone equally dominant creates the clash where someone has to lose their aura, solving the booking problem through sacrifice. The authority intervention *. Management characters force Jade into handicap matches or unfavorable situations, creating sympathy for her while making victories more impressive. The humbling *. Jade loses decisively to someone, creating a redemption arc where she has to rebuild credibility and earn another opportunity. Hashtag the women's division state. This segment highlights broader issues with WWE's women's division booking that extend beyond just Jade Cargill's specific situation. The depth problem asterisk. SmackDown's women's division lacks depth of credible challengers, making it difficult to book competitive storylines when one person is positioned as dominant. The competitive balance asterisk. Wrestling works best when multiple people feel like they could win on any given night. Current booking makes outcomes too predictable. The character development asterisk. Many women wrestlers lack clear character motivation or development beyond "I want to win," making it hard for fans to invest emotionally. The screen time distribution asterisk. Too much time focused on one storyline/person means other women don't get opportunities to develop their characters or skills. The tag team situation asterisk. The women's tag division could provide opportunities for variety, but it's treated as secondary to singles competition. Hashtag the social media firestorm. The immediate social media reaction to this SmackDown segment has been intense and overwhelmingly critical, with fans expressing frustration across all platforms. Twitter/X is flooded with criticisms about the booking, with many fans defending B-Fab and Michin while calling Jade's push "go away" heat rather than legitimate heel heat. Wrestling Reddit communities are discussing whether this is good heel work or just bad booking that buries talent for no long-term benefit. YouTube reaction channels are split between those who appreciate Jade's physical presence and dominance versus those who find her character boring due to lack of struggle. Instagram comments on WWE's official post show significant negative feedback, with many fans calling the segment a burial and questioning why WWE doesn't book more competitive matches. The discourse has become less about Jade specifically and more about WWE's overall approach to women's division booking and whether dominance booking works in the modern era. Hashtag the locker room perspective. While we can't know for certain, industry insiders and backstage reports suggest that this segment has created interesting dynamics behind the scenes as well. Some wrestlers reportedly appreciate Jade's work ethic and professionalism while privately questioning booking decisions that make everyone look weak. There's apparently discussion about whether someone needs to be positioned to dethrone Jade soon or if WWE plans to continue her dominant run for months more. Veteran women wrestlers have apparently offered to work with Jade to help her develop more nuanced character work beyond just physical dominance. The competitive nature of professional wrestling means some performers are frustrated by others being positioned above them, creating natural backstage tension. Mentors and coaches are reportedly working with various women to prepare them for eventually being the one to credibly challenge or beat Jade. Hashtag the business implications. From a pure business perspective, Jade Cargill's dominant booking has both benefits and drawbacks that WWE executives must be considering. Positives asterisk. Jade's unique look and presence creates mainstream attention. Dominant champions can draw money when their eventual loss feels special. Her AEW background creates crossover interest from non-WWE fans. Physical presence appeals to casual viewers who want larger-than-life characters. Negatives asterisk. Predictable outcomes hurt excitement and reduce incentive to watch. Burying multiple wrestlers limits future storyline options. Fan backlash against push creates negative publicity. Lack of competitive matches limits merchandise and engagement opportunities for other women. The question WWE must answer: does Jade's individual star power outweigh the division-wide damage from her booking? Hashtag conclusion, a dominant force or division destroyer? Jade Cargill's destruction of B-Fab and humiliation of Michin on SmackDown has created one of the most controversial segments in recent women's wrestling, dividing fans between those who appreciate dominant heel work and those who see it as damaging to the entire division. The physical domination and disrespectful promos create legitimate heel heat, but the question remains whether this is effective storytelling or just burying talent for one person's benefit. B-Fab and Michin deserve better than being used as enhancement talent for someone else's push, and the fan backlash suggests audiences agree with that sentiment. Jade Cargill is undoubtedly talented and physically impressive, but the booking pattern of destroying everyone without struggle is starting to create diminishing returns and fan fatigue. The women's division needs competitive storytelling where multiple people feel like credible threats. Current booking makes Jade look strong while making everyone else look weak. This is WrestlingNewsCC, and the Jade Cargill debate is heating up. Do you think she's the future of WWE's women's division, or is her dominant booking damaging other wrestlers' credibility? Who do you want to see finally give Jade a competitive match? Was the post-match humiliation of Michin too far, or is that just effective heel work? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments. Like and share this video because this controversy is far from over, and WWE needs to hear what fans actually think about this booking direction.